Hey Tegan, welcome to Hamlin. I am Kelly Krebs and have been working with you over these last few weeks to get you admitted into the program. And I am just following up as promised with some information about getting registered for fall. This is something new I'm trying with these individual videos for these advising sessions, so we'll see how it goes. But I like it just because it's a little more personal, and it just gives me a chance to sort of talk through your program and where you're at and a few things. And then, I've also in this email sort of have an agenda that I'm going to be following, so you can follow along. But this will be about a 7 or 8 minute long video just to cover some important information. First of all, welcome to Hamlin. We are glad you are joining us in the online program. You should have gotten some login information for Piperline, which is our system where sort of all of your personal information takes place. It's where you can check on your bill and pay bills and your tuition. You can check grades. All of your personal information is in there. So if you need to update an address, change a password for one of your accounts, you can do that in Piperline. You will also be receiving, after you get registered, an Hamlin email account and login information for that. And that will also be your username. And my guess is it will be something like Mirovsky01 will be your username, unless there happens to be another Mirovsky at Hamlin, which I doubt it, but that was probably going to be your username. So that should be coming again once you get registered for classes, which is what we're going to talk about in this email. And I think I said this in the welcome email I sent you. Besides working with students through the admissions process, I also serve as the main advisor for students in the online program. So I will be working with you throughout your program and helping you decide what courses you need to take, what's going to move you forward in getting you to graduation. Reach out to me if you have any questions along the way at any point in the program. And if you're running into course-specific issues, though, your first call or reach out should be to your instructor, but I'm happy to be brought into those discussions as well if you think that would be helpful. Sometimes it's helpful for us to know if there are things going on in a class that might be going on with all students, and we can identify sort of larger issues that are happening. So in this email, I'm going to be referring a lot to your degree evaluation that you received when you were admitted. That email, I attached it to the email along with your admittance. So I'll be referring to that, and I'm attaching it again to this email if you don't have it handy, so if you can follow along with some things. Just want to give a brief overview on the Hamlin Plan. So the Hamlin Plan is our general education requirements, sort of how Hamlin does the liberal arts. And it's meant to be a series of skills and competencies that we think are important for a Hamlin graduate to have and to know. And quite frankly, there are a lot of the same skills and competencies that employers are looking for in folks that they're hiring these days. And it's not necessarily a number of courses. It's, again, more about skill areas and competencies. And those can be on a variety of courses. And in fact, one course can have more than one Hamlin Plan letter on them. So on this degree evaluation, that middle column, the HP Hamlin Plan, you'll see that series of letters, and those stand for the different skills and competencies that we're hoping students can develop. Things such as critical thinking and problem solving and cultural competency, communication, all of those things. So again, it's not necessarily a class, but it's areas and skills that we are hoping the students to do it. So you can see on this evaluation, admission requirements met. That means those are the requirements that you're bringing in, that you transferred in, and then the not met are things that you still need to do. The majority of it for you will be with those courses within your major, within the psychology program. You transferred in a total of 72 credits, 2 courses within the psychology major, leaving you 11 courses left to complete. And then in the Hamlin Plan requirements, you have the following left to complete: the transfer seminar, which all new students in the program take, communication 650, English 1800, which is professional writing, and then the Hamlin Plan requirements of collaboration, diversity, and then a natural science with a lab, which is more of a traditional liberal arts course. And leaving you a total of a minimum of 60 credits to get to that total of 128, which is what our bachelor's degree is made up of. So 60 credits left to complete to get your degree. So I use your degree evaluation as we're thinking about and looking at what courses you should be signing up for every term. It's going to be different for everybody because different students are transferring in different courses. But I'll always make sure to get you in a course that you need and is going to move you forward to graduation and satisfy both courses within the major and the Hamlin Plan. So fall term 2019, in the email I've listed out the courses that we're offering. That we have one 16-week term. There's 3 of those within a year, so the fall term is coming up. And that 16-week term is divided into 2 8-week sessions. So each course is just 8 weeks long. So session 1 starts on September 3rd, the day after Labor Day, and then session 2 starts on October 28th. For each session, we always try to offer at least 1, sometimes 2 courses in the majors, so a psychology option and a business option, and then a Hamlin Plan option for students to take. And then the first session of every term, we also offer the transfer seminar since it's a required course, and we want it to be the first, if not one of the first courses that our students are taking in the program. And the reason for that is the transfer seminar, it sort of introduces students to online learning at Hamlin, some of the support services. You'll be doing some research projects in there so that you're using the library databases, and being able to do research is what you're going to be preparing you to do the research that you're going to need to do in subsequent classes. And then it will also be fairly heavy writing intensive. We know some of our students coming back into the program have been out of school for a while and maybe just need to get back into practice into what it means to do academic writing. So that's what the transfer seminar is all about. So let's talk a little bit about being a full-time versus a part-time student. So full-time student, you need to take at least 3 courses in that 16-week term, which is 12 credits. Anything less than that is considered part-time. So if students just want to take 1 course per session, and students can go back and forth from being full-time and part-time. That decision really is about what kind of course load you think you can handle. Online courses are convenient and flexible, but they still are pretty rigorous, and it's really important that you're able to keep up. Each of our courses is divided into 8 modules, and those correspond to the 8 weeks of the session. So again, it's important that you keep up with your assignments and readings and the discussion boards, especially. That's where the interaction happens in a classroom, where you're posting responses to maybe a question or a case study that your faculty member is asking you to do, and then you're responding to what other students in that classroom are saying in that discussion board. And there are deadlines each week of when you have to have your posts due. So that said, I know our students, all of them have demanding lives. Most of them, if not all of them, work full-time, have family commitments. So thinking about what makes sense for you as far as that course load. And I think you'll have a much better sense after even that first session of what kind of demands the online courses are going to take. That said, so I have a couple options for you as we think about what would make sense for you for fall term. If you wanted to go full-time, which would be taking 3 classes, I would recommend that for session 1, there'd be 2 courses you would take. It would be the transfer seminar, and then the psychology course, Adult Development and Aging, which is one of the required courses for your major. Or you could opt for that Biology 1180, which is biotechnology in your life, which satisfies the natural science with a lab requirement. You need that as well. So I think either of those 2 would be a good option. And then for session 2, I'd recommend really the only course that I think you need or would move you forward would be Psychology 3980, Risk and Resilience. If you decided you just wanted to start with two courses, one course for session one and one course for session two, I would do the transfer seminar and then that risk and resilience course for session two. So think about that. I'm happy to answer questions you might have to help you decide what makes most sense for you, but I would like to hear back from you. Tomorrow's Friday. If Friday would be great, or very early next week, so I can get you registered, and that would give you a chance to get your textbooks and just make sure all your financial aid is in place so that you're ready to go by September 3rd when things start. The rest of the email just has some information about the academic calendar for the rest of the academic year, about start dates and end dates for the terms and the sessions. And then finally, financial aid. If you haven't already, and I haven't checked this yet, but do submit your FAFSA. And then we also need you to submit a separate thing, this HU financial aid form, which just tells us if you're planning to go full-time or part-time. It's very short. It should take you about a minute, literally, to complete. I think if you're planning to go full-time, just click 8 sessions, 8 credits for each session. We aren't going to hold you to this. It's just a chance for what we use to help determine your financial aid initially. I think that's it. Again, welcome to Hamlin. We're really glad you're here. Let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to hearing back from you.